हेलो एंड वेलकम टू VUSport Scout। मेरा नाम है रक्षित, मैं हूं आपका फैंटेसी होस्ट और इस वीडियो में हम प्रीव्यू करेंगे टॉटनहम और आर्सेनल के बीच में एक बहुत ही बड़ा नॉर्थ लंदन डर्बी प्रीमियर लीग मैच। आई हैव विद मी अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट टू प्रीव्यू दिस मैच विद अस, captain of the Indian football team, Sunil Chhetri. Welcome, Sunil, and thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you so much, Rakshit, for having me.
So, Sunil, North London Derby is anyways a match जो बहुत ही फाइस्टी होता है, बहुत कंपेटिटिव होता है। एक नॉर्थ लंदन डर्बी है, राइवलरी है इन दोनों टीम्स के बीच में। बट इस सीजन अगर आप देखें, जो टॉप 4 का बैटल हो रहा है, कीपिंग इन माइंड कि आर्सेनल करंटली 4 पॉइंट्स अहेड है टॉटनहम के लिए, एंड टॉटनहम के लिए मस्ट विन मैच है। सो आपके हिसाब से इस पर्टिकुलर मैच का क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ द सीजन?
आई मीन थोड़ा सा और इम्पोर्टेंस बढ़ गया इस डर्बी का, अगर वो बढ़ सकता है तो। जनरली ये वो मैचेस हैं जो which have legendary history in terms of जो इन दोनों टीमों ने किया है एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट, in terms of heroes जो बाहर आए इन मैचों की वजह से। But just because, as you said, the permutation and combination of getting that fourth spot, which is a very very important one for all the top teams fighting in the Premier League, ये मैच और भी ज्यादा बेहतरीन हो जाएगा हम सब न्यूट्रल्स के लिए। Because not only are they fighting at Derby, which is always beyond the numbers and beyond the table, it's always also about emotions. But at the same time, emotions को भी अपने चेक में रखना है, because एक बहुत ही important और एक पड़ाव पार करना है दोनों टीमों ने।
Definitely, we have seen a lot of yellow cards and red cards across the years in the North London Derby, and I'm pretty sure this one will be no different. So, Sunil, considering the fact that Tottenham के लिए ये must-win match है, but Arsenal I think should be happy with the draw as well. So, how do you see this match going in terms of the flow of the match?
Well, now both teams जो अगर सोचे जिस पड़ाव में है, and if they want to go with safety for Arsenal and all out as Tottenham, both have to change a little bit the way they play. Arsenal, we saw, no matter who they play, except the ones that they played against Liverpool and Man City, they have tried to keep the ball and dominate the game as far as ball possession is concerned. That's the natural game. Tottenham do really, really well against teams where they can sit back and hit teams in counter. Especially bringing Harry Kane and Son in the picture, when everyone sits back and they hit teams in counter. We saw what they did against Liverpool last game. So now it suits Tottenham to play like that, but it only suits them if Arsenal play the way they want to play. But because of the match involved, where if Arsenal, even if they draw, more than likely they are confirmed of keeping Tottenham at bay. So it might play with their heads. So it'll be very interesting to watch whether Tottenham, which is very unlikely contest team, कि आप ये 3-5-2 या 5-3-2 फॉर्मेशन छोड़कर बॉल अगर आपके पास नहीं, आप बैठ जाओ everyone at the right banks and then go for counter, because that might not suffice them, because they have to win the game. I know mathematically अगर वो draw या हारते हैं उसके बाद भी chances हैं, but I mean last 2 games I don't think if this game goes in Arsenal's way they're going to drop any points, especially with the kind of form they are in. I think in the last 5 games, actually, if I'm not wrong, they've won 4.
Yeah,
and they've beaten Chelsea in between 4-2. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a commendable result. आप और मैंने बात की थी last when Arsenal were in dip of form, and we both talked how they have to come back if they really have to pursue the dream of getting in the top 4. And right now they look solid.
Absolutely, but we discussed Brighton से हार गए थे, Southampton से हार गए थे, and they bounced back spectacularly by beating Chelsea, by beating Man United, for example, and definitely उनका एक uptick in form हुआ है. So Sunil, let's move on to the picks. अगर आपको एक फॉरवर्ड, एक अटैकर, स्ट्राइकर आपको हाईलाइट करना होगा फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर मैच फ्रॉम बोथ द टीम्स, तो आप किसको करेंगे?
Nketiah for sure. Also because मेरे बहुत खास मित्र एरिक डायर खेलते हैं टॉटनहम में, but because they are going to be desperate for a point, they might not play the way they generally play, which is making sure that everyone is covered and everyone comes back. And with Nketiah's speed, we saw what he did in the last couple of games. He's rapid, he's a young boy, and also in terms of goals, he's in form. So I think he'll be a danger. Also more interesting, Rakshit, अगर Arsenal थोड़ा बैठ जाए or make sure that they work really hard with the ball but don't go all out, because they don't have to, then there is more space behind and Nketiah can use that. But अगर मुझे सिर्फ एक पिक करना होगा, then Harry Kane. I think initial setback जो कि साल के starting में हुआ था, जहां पर वो यहाँ रहेंगे नहीं रहेंगे, फिर आए. I think 13-14 games he had no goals. Now he's playing outstanding. I think between the lines खेलकर बाकी टीम को गेम में लाना, I don't think there is and him in the world. How he manages to create space and to use space so that Kulusevski and Son come into the game is commendable.
Both are obviously awesome picks. Harry Kane, of course, is someone जो I think Thomas Partey का जो absence है for Arsenal वो Kane को थोड़ा help कर सकता है, because as we know Kane likes to drop into midfield and spray those passes to Kulusevski and Son. So I don't think Arsenal have anyone in the midfield. Elneny has done well recently, but I don't see anyone with the tactical nous जिसे कहते हैं to stop Harry Kane. So अगर मेरे को pick करना होगा, of course you mentioned Nketiah and Kane, I would have to go for Son. Son, I love Son. Son is a fantastic player. He's someone who is still, I would say, underrated to an extent. इनकी form is spectacular. He scored against Liverpool as well in the last round, and ये proper मुझे big match player लगते हैं. So Son is someone जो I think can exploit the Arsenal backline. Obviously he's someone जिनको space में thrive करते हैं, और अगर Arsenal काफी deep बैठेगी तो थोड़ा सा उन्हें थोड़ा सा I think affect कर सकता है. But he's also on set pieces, और set pieces के through definitely वो at least assist contribute कर सकते हैं in this match. So he's obviously a very very important player. So Sunil, let us move on to the midfield. आपके हिसाब से कौन सा ऐसा मिडफील्डर है दोनों टीम्स कंबाइन करके जो गेम चेंज कर सकते हैं in this match?
I think Martinelli is a good pick. We don't know how sure we are about who's going to start. There's Smith Rowe also as an option. I think Martinelli is a good pick. Saka, again, worrying signs with his injury. Last 5 games, he hasn't completed all the games playing 90 minutes. He's always one of the most lethal weapons that Arsenal has. But because of his injury thing, I think you either have to look at Martinelli or Smith Rowe. I really think this game is going to go deep, Rakshit. I don't think it's going to be an open game for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So from Arsenal's point of view, these two are going to be the important one. In terms of making a difference with an assist and a goal, there aren't many options when it comes to midfield in Tottenham. The heavy lifting are always done by Harry Kane and Son. But I think you might see a different nature of almost all the players. Højbjerg is going to maybe join the attack more because they know that they need a win. Even a draw would probably mean the end of a dream of qualifying for the top 4.
Definitely. If I had to make a pick, it would be Kulusevski. So Kulusevski changed the game last match में Tottenham के लिए. He's also someone जो right flank पे खेलेंगे. So Arsenal have a left back problem. So since Kieran Tierney has gotten injured, they have tried Xhaka at left back. Nuno Tavares is very good going forward, but defensively I think वो थोड़े suspect हैं. So I think there is a sort of weakness है जो Arsenal के defense में left back position में है, जो I think someone like Kulusevski, maybe even Emerson Royal can exploit in this match. So I think Kulusevski anyways is someone जो contributions have been so good since he was signed from Juventus in the winter. So he's someone जो मेरे midfield pick होंगे for this match.
Also the combination between them two is very good. Even though they play 5 defenders, but Royal and Kulusevski's combination is really good.
Yeah, so Kulusevski cuts inside, Royal makes those overlapping runs, and sometimes he dummies, sometimes he utilizes. So it's a very clever use of space. So अगर डिफेंस की बात करें सुनील, दोनों टीम्स में से कौन सा वो एक स्टैंड आउट डिफेंडर है आपके हिसाब से जो इस मैच में एक स्टैंड आउट कर सकता है?
Well, I think we already talked about Royal, especially because of the space that he gets and the ball that he pins. I mean, like Chelsea, Tottenham are also one of those teams where both the right back and the left back, they bomb in. There are so many times where you're seeing even the last assist from Harry Kane, it was to the left back, which is not very normal. Generally आपको लगता है कि अगर आप 5 डिफेंडर खेल रहे हो तो आप बहुत ही ज्यादा defensive minded हो, लेकिन नहीं. We saw it with Alonso and Reece James also for Chelsea. Whenever they get an opportunity, they're always bombing in. So both the wingers coming inside gives a lot of opportunities for both left back and right back for Tottenham to go in and put this crosses. I also want to see, it's a very emotional call, but I also want to see Eric Dyer more onto the box.
You seem to love Eric Dyer.
He's an unbelievable talent. I mean, of course, he's playing for one of the best teams, but also in set pieces with headers and also taking his own free kicks. He was always good. And as I said, this game needs Tottenham to be a little bit more desperate to get the points. So I would be very, very happy to see a goal from Eric Dyer in the corner.
That's very, very interesting. He also takes direct free kicks, right?
Yes, it'll make you happy also. It'll make you happy also because Son would be taking those corners.
Of course. So if I had to go for someone, थोड़ा सा मैं left field pick करूँगा. It's Christian Romero. So I'm an Argentina fan, and Christian Romero is someone who has, I think, completely changed the Conte 3-man backline. अगर आप stats देखेंगे तो per 90 stats की अगर आप बात करें तो क्रिस्टियन रोमेरो के जो टैकल और इंटरसेप्शन नंबर्स हैं वो हाईएस्ट है अमंग ऑल टॉटनहम डिफेंडर्स. एंड ओवरऑल ऑल्सो जो उनका जो डिफेंसिव डिस्प्लेज रहे हैं, जो जिस कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ ही ब्रिंग्स द बॉल आउट फ्रॉम द बैक, एंड आई लव हिज स्लाइडिंग टैकल्स एज वेल. सो क्रिस्टियन रोमेरो is, I think, a very good option tackle interceptions के point of view से, and he will be my defensive pick for the match. So Sunil, who is that one player in this match जिसके बारे में लोग बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, but आपके हिसाब से वो एक ऐसा influence कर सकता है in this match जो लोग expect नहीं कर सकते? So basically, who is someone जो एक unlikely hero हो सकता है in this match?
Well, I think it's very, very rare, Rakshit. These games, are big games. They require big characters. I would be very, very surprised if the ones that we have talked about do not come to the party. You know, it is not very. I mean, it's okay to talk. It's okay to throw a name here and there. But more than often, you will see, Rakshit, if it's a big game, then you will have your Harry Kanes and Sons. You will have your Sakas and everyone coming and delivering. And also, we have seen in the derby, if you take out the part that they both are fighting for the top four, even the derby, you will always see one of those stars coming in and spoiling the party for the other one. I'm really banking on Kane.
Yeah.
I know you asked me a name which is not very talked about, and I'm talking about a player who is the most talked about. But I think he has been outstanding in terms of the final pass, the assist, or scoring a goal is outstanding. Also because of the high pressure volume of this game, there can be penalties, and you know how lethal he is in penalties. I think Harry Kane, and also as a neutral, I want this game at least Tottenham to score first, so we have a great game. Because the more it goes, and if it's 0-0 or Arsenal scores, the more it's, you know what I mean? If Tottenham scores first, then the game becomes very interesting for a lot of us who are neutrals.
That's indeed true. So, finally, अगर आपको predict करना होगा match, क्या आपका prediction होगा?
I'm going with a draw. I think we'll see goals from both sides. I'm going with a draw.
For a high-scoring draw or low-scoring draw, or a nil-nil draw?
No, I'm goal-scoring draw. I think there are goals in this game. I don't think you would see a boring a match where there are no goals. Of course, you know, for so many reasons, so many things that are on stake. I see a goal-scoring draw.
Right. If I had to make a prediction, I'd back a 3-1 Tottenham win.
Wow.
I'm somehow very confident that Tottenham will turn this around. And
that's a big one, huh?
Yeah.
Especially with Arsenal's form, that's a big call to make.
I can't trust either team to keep a clean sheet in this match.
Yes, neither do I.
But I just trust Son and Kane to make a difference in this match. So thank you so much for joining me, Sunil, for this particular preview. Tottenham versus Arsenal, North London derby. I really can't wait for this match. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you all for watching VUSport Scouts.